I'm just a fan, and these are my 10 minutes for the Pixar movie Cars. Now, if you don't know how this works, I'm going to watch a movie that I've never seen before, in this case Cars, and then immediately afterward, right when the credits start, we're going to pause the whole credit thing and give myself 10 minutes to talk about the movie. No time to think about it, no time to write anything down, just a matter of watch the movie and talk about how I felt about it. Now, on the note of 10 minutes, because it's only 10 minutes long, I can't really avoid spoilers, so I apologize for anybody out there. I mean, I can't believe there's very many of you at this point, but who haven't seen Cars and who, don't want to see any spoilers. This will be a spoiler review. And I gotta say, it's pretty surprising that I haven't seen this movie with how much I love Pixar and Disney, that combination there, and how they've been for the past, ever since Toy Story. And I really like those movies, especially lately. I've been getting really into Pixar movies as much as I've seen them before, just really appreciating them more, wanting to watch them more often, stuff like that. It's amazing that I haven't seen Cars. I know 3 things about it, I think. 1, it's about cars. I could say that. 2, I believe that the main character, one of the main characters' names is Lightning McQueen. And 3, I know that McQueen actually came from a Pixar animator. His name was Glenn McQueen, and he died actually of skin cancer, I believe, during the filming or the creation of Finding Nemo, which is a wonderful movie, and that's why at the end of Finding Nemo, you see a dedication to him for Glenn McQueen. And so it's really cool how they actually used his name in real life to name a character in Cars here, Lightning McQueen. So it's just kind of neat to think about. It's too bad that we lost a Pixar animator, but it's really great to know that, as much as they honor the movies they have, as much as they connect the movies they have and have all kinds of cool Easter eggs and things, it's nice to give some real, genuine appreciation for a real-life person there. So those are the 3 things I know about this movie, and I guess I'm going to get started. I'm going to rent it on YouTube. It's only $3, $2.99, I guess, for the standard definition edition. And so the next thing you're going to see is me finishing the movie and starting that 10-minute timer and talking about it for 10 minutes. Here we go.
I don't know. Why don't we just take a drive?
Nah.
Yeah. Good job.
Is it still going? There's credits, but there's still movie. I'm gonna keep watching. They gotta sing the song, right? Okay, sure.
Well, you sure ain't no dirt boy. Not today, old man. I know all your tricks. Doc! Doc! Not all my tricks, rookie. Look at this! It's my hood! It's my hood! I ain't seen this thing in 20 years! Well, it fits perfectly! How do I look?
Cars can sneeze. Oh, I didn't realize they had tongues either, so whatever.
Oh, dang.
Toy car story?
You are a toy car! You are a sad strain on the wagon, and you have my pity. Farewell.
This is awesome.
Well, good riddance, Scaloni. Hey, I hate to break up the road rally, guys, but they're here! Birthday guests at 3 o'clock! Oh, man. Whoever does
Oh, nice. Oh, they got John Ratzenberger to make fun of himself. That is awesome. Monster Trucks, Inc.
Out here in this wasteland without chains! But Ike, the Boomobile's in trouble. She needs our help. You're still not listening! Welcome
Right,
to the Himalayas.
right.
Snowcoat? Oh, that abominable snowplow is quite the comic thespian. Just get in there. Go.
A Bug's Life? Yeah, well, it's just a Bug's Life. Oh, a Bug's Life. Took me a second. I get it. A Bug's Life.
Wait a minute here. They're just using the same actor over and over. What kind of a cut-rate production is this?
That's really it. Okay, I think it's actually over now. Yeah, it's... Oh, I see. Wait, what? Oh, okay, dedicated to... Okay, yeah. Heimlich, Lenny, and... Wheezy. Okay, more dedications here. I did not know that was happening. Okay, I think we're actually at the end now. Good, so I'm going to play this, or start this timer for 10 minutes. I swear there used to be like a function for choosing the alarm that would go off. I can't seem to find one. So I'm just gonna start. Whatever, some sound will happen in 10 minutes. Here we go. Boom. Start. That was great. That was pretty good. I like Cars. I definitely my favorite part by far is the credits there where they have a toy car story. That was awesome. Nobody even told me that was going to be there. So good for them for those great references. So it was just fun. It was a lot of fun. It took a while to get fun though, and here's kind of why for me. I kept subconsciously or even consciously kind of comparing this movie to Toy Story, which came out a few years before this one. It was Pixar's first full-length feature film, and I'm thinking about a character Woody, where when we see him at the beginning, he's very well respected. He kind of goes around to the different characters. He meets up with Rex for a bit. He meets with Bo Peep. He meets with Etch and Slinky. You could tell he's kind of very well respected, and people listen to him, and they count on him. And so here we have a sort of similar thing where we're not watching Lightning McQueen's rise to stardom. He's already a star at the beginning here. What we're watching is kind of his character with lots of fame and lots of attention and lots of potential. He's like the new prodigy here. We're watching him, but we're not watching him with like a lot of great character qualities, which was the point, and that's fine. The point is that he kind of has to learn to count on other people and that he should respect others, that type of thing. But I just didn't really latch onto his character, and then therefore when in Toy Story when he eventually knocks Buzz out of the window, even accidentally, and people start getting mad at him and like, what's up with you? Why would you do that? That type of thing. Where's your honor, dirtbag? Those kinds of things. That meant a lot more to me than it does watching Lightning McQueen here get caught at Radiator Springs and have to pave the road. It's like, yeah, you kind of deserve that. I mean, geez, what kind of terrible things do you do to these people? I mean, he drove past that cop car, the sheriff car, really quick. He starts following him, running away from the cops, and then he starts crashing into things and breaking stuff. And I was like, geez, like just stop, man. Like, why are you still going? It was, like, way kind of overkill in terms of, like, man, look at him causing all this damage. And it was almost like, is he not even competent enough to just, like, stop here and stop causing so much trouble? So I got it. It made sense, but it was kind of hard to latch onto the character and appreciate what they were doing at the beginning. And after a while, when he spent time at Radiator Springs and interacted with the other characters, I started to appreciate it better. Especially with a character like Mater. Mater's a great character to kind of be the friend or the supporting character to the main character and kind of help them realize who they are and what's important to them and what they need to realize they need to do for kind of the story here. So Mater's a good character. And even then it took a while, but eventually started saying things like, he shows them how to do like cow tipping, which was tractor. That was weird, by the way. Probably the thing I understood the least in the movie is why are tractors like cows and why do they? It was just very bizarre, and it was fun. It wasn't like it was a dumb thing. I was just like, what? I don't understand why this is even a thing here. But when they had that experience there, and they're kind of coming back and they're talking a little bit, and he's joking about how he thinks that Lightning McQueen likes Sally, the Porsche, which is really cool. And by the way, great for them for saying Porsche because that's the actual pronunciation. Most English speakers don't know that Porsche is actually a German company, so Porsche is the actual pronunciation. That was really cool. There are actually quite a few language things in there I really appreciated. I noticed near the beginning of the movie they had the Lightyear blimp, and I was like, okay, I see what they did there. The Lightyear blimp and Lightyear tires, that was pretty good. Other things I said, like the whole, what is it, float like a Cadillac, sting like a beaver, that's awesome. I'm sure there are even more references like that they made that I didn't even realize were there, so stuff like that was really great. I love that. One thing I was surprised about word-wise, I was surprised that, it took place like in the United States. It was like on Earth in the United States, which is fine. Most Pixar movies take place on the actual Earth, whether or not it's the United States or not. But I was kind of like, everything is all car themed here, but then they just made California. They didn't make it like California or something like that. I was just kind of surprised that of all the other car things they did, not that. But that's fine. Route 66 was in there, and that was kind of cool to see and hear that song a couple times. That was nice at the end here, and earlier in the movie. So it got really good. One thing I really didn't, I'll get to some more really good stuff in a moment here, but one thing I just really didn't get to was the separation with Lightning McQueen and the Radiator Springs townsfolk. Because, like in Toy Story, when Woody is like, we need to get back to Andy so we can go with him on the move. If we don't get back to their house in time, they're going to move away and we're never going to find them again. There was a lot of pressure and a lot of worry and lots of little things, too, where they would show scenes where Andy and his mom were like, well, we're going to move tomorrow or it's almost time. Like, I hope we can find them. There were some good things like that where it was kind of adding to the pressure, reminding the viewer and the characters, like, man, we have to worry about this. And a similar thing was happening here. He was in Radiator Springs, Lightning McQueen was in Radiator Springs, and they had a good scene where they kind of had the radio on. It was talking about how the green car with the mustache is already there and practicing and stuff like that. And it's like, oh gosh, like, oh yeah, I gotta get out of here. It's one of those little reminders to the viewer and the character that the pressure's on here, time's a wasting. So they had good stuff like that. But so when it came time for him to leave, when all the paparazzi came and Mac came, it was kind of like, we gotta go to the race. And they're like, oh, okay, I guess you're leaving, Lightning McQueen. Good luck, bye. And it was like, go with him, go watch, or go support him or something. It's like, this isn't like, you're moving away and you're never going to find him again or something. It was like, you can very easily, go there and support him, or just wait for him to come back and he can come back and visit or whatever. So it didn't really have as much emotional impact as it did in something like Toy Story, where it's like, we have to make sure he's there. And of course, they showed up, or at least the Doc car and a couple of the Italian cars, they showed up anyway at the Piston Cup in California. So it was kind of like, that didn't have nearly as much emotional weight as it could have, because they're kind of making a big deal out of something that didn't really need to be made a big deal out of. But it was still great, and we still had great things in there. Like, I love the whole character of Doc. Doc the car was awesome, kind of unexpected, and they could have made it really kind of not dumb, but it could have been a lot weaker if it was something like where Lightning McQueen said, my whole life, the Hornet car, I think is the name, the something Hornet, that car's like my dream car, he's my inspiration for everything I do. And then he goes to the Radiator Springs, he doesn't realize that Doc is the Hornet, the Hudson Hornet, what was it called? Something Hornet. But so that was good that they didn't do that, because it would have been too basic, such an obvious, like, he's my hero, and then he goes, to his next part of the story, and he realizes that Doc is, his hero the whole time. It's like, oh, he's my hero, wow, and it kind of just would have fallen there. It's like, oh, so basic, so it's too easy, too simple. But this was great, because we had a couple great moments where it's like, he finds out something about Doc. He was like, wait, are you a champion racer, a former champion racer kind of thing? And they had that excellent line. I love this one so much, where he said, I see all those trophies in there. And he said, you might see trophies, all I see is empty cups. And I was like, dang, that was a good line. Because it told me, immediately I was thinking, like, wow, empty cups, like, we often don't think of trophies like that, because what is a trophy? It's often a cup, yes, or something like that, but it's empty. And it was kind of a great way to have the viewer and the character, of course, Lightning McQueen, visualize internally, like, what does it mean to have a trophy? What does it mean to be a winner? What does it mean that he says empty? I mean, it's yes, literally empty, but also, like, how empty do you feel on the inside sometimes if you're a winner? But after you win, it's kind of like, what else is there? It was just a great way to get you thinking about it. Not that there's a specific answer to any of this, but just, just that prompt for the viewer to start thinking about, what does it mean that he said an empty cup? It was great. I thought a lot about that. And it was great at the end there, too, when Lightning McQueen, great, again, awesome moment here, great moment where he could have easily just won the race. He could have easily won the race and then come back and helped out the face of Dinoco, whatever his name was, but he didn't. He chose to not win at all. He chose to not get the trophy in the first place, and even re-quoted, it's just an empty cup kind of thing. I was like, yes, that is it. That's exactly what we want to watch our character do. We want to watch them learn things and grow from that. And so it seemed to take a while for him to get to that point, which was, I think, the point. It took him a while to realize that he needs other people and that he can't just, work alone the whole time type of thing, which was sort of confusing, because he had a pit crew at the beginning, but they were talking about working alone. So I was like, how does he have a pit crew but not have a pit crew? I don't know. They quit on him, which was fine. Also, the same note there too. There was Sally the Porsche, Bonnie Hunt, great. There's a lot of voices in here. I was surprised Owen Wilson was Lightning McQueen. I was like, what is Owen Wilson doing in a Pixar movie? But it was nice to hear Bonnie Hunt be Sally the Porsche. And it was kind of weird that she was like an attorney, but then she also like owned and operated the motel. I was like, oh, how did those two things happen together? It was kind of odd. I don't know. Maybe I missed something in there. But generally great. There's just great stuff here. The character of Doc was awesome. The whole Lightning McQueen kind of arc at the end of the movie, where he chose to go help the king of Dinoco, the face of Dinoco, the king. That was really great. I love this whole thing of kind of the character of the old guy who's kind of older, which is odd to think about how cars age, I guess, in this movie. So, like, is Lightning McQueen going to become, like, grow a gray hair mustache and get kind of older? I don't know. It's just kind of odd to think about how these cars even age. But it was great seeing him, challenge Lightning McQueen to a race, and he kind of knew he was going to win because he knows Lightning McQueen's character and he kind of knows the racing circuit. That was really cool. Great character moment there. And at that point, we didn't even know he was like a former racer. Just really great stuff like that. Really good things that kind of drive home the whole point that what these characters are trying to do. That was all great there. I don't know how much time I have left. I'm trying to think of more things to say. Gosh, it was really fun watching. It was fun watching John Ratzenberger kind of make fun of himself right there. That was brilliant. Radiator Springs it was cool. I love seeing kind of the history of Radiator Springs and realizing that it used to be a very popular place. It is kind of a little maybe some commentary on the real world where they made a new Highway 40 or 44 I think it was, and they saved 10 minutes by going there, and that kind of just dropped off all the not necessarily tourism but just the attention and the traffic that Radiator Springs would get. That was a cool little moment there where it's like, yeah, this town meant something and it means something to us. It wasn't just some kind of crappy town that Lightning McQueen was like, oh, this place is lame or something about hillbillies and this is It was cool to see that he and the viewer too, we could start appreciating like, wow, this place really actually meant something to these characters and still does mean something to them. That's why they're still here. It's why they're trying to do what they're trying to do. So it's really cool. I like that whole aspect of it. I mean, from that moment on, there were some times kind of at the beginning of the Radiator Springs kind of part of the story, which is kind of like, okay, I don't see much. I didn't feel much going on there, but after a while, it really started up, and that was really nice. And there's the time right there. I guess it's like a bell. One thing. How do I stop this? Stop. Okay, good. One last thing I want to say. I was surprised. I asked somebody once, is Dinoco in this movie? Because I mean, I've loved Toy Story for years, but one of my favorite movies forever. And so Dinoco is a gas station in Toy Story, and I kind of asked somebody, is Dinoco a part of Cars? Because gas station cars need gas. I mean, isn't that an obvious thing to tie in there, especially knowing Pixar, especially these days? And then someone said yes, and they didn't really elaborate on that. And I figured it would just be, Lightning McQueen's on the way to do something, and he just goes to get gas, and he gets gas, and it happens to be Dinoco, haha. But it was like, whoa, like a whole sponsor. I was kind of surprised to see Dinoco had such a presence here. So I gotta say, I appreciate the whole Dinoco aspect of the movie. Just great stuff like that. Really fun. So those are my 10 minutes to talk about Cars. I think I got the important things I wanted to say. There might be something I forgot at some point or didn't realize, but I hope that was still fun to watch. It was definitely a really fun movie for me to watch. If you want to see more, feel free to check out other videos on the channel. Feel free to subscribe if you want to. We also started a Twitter account for this whole movie review thing, the Just a Fan movie review. So I'll put a link to the Twitter probably on the screen right here, and also in the video description down below. I'm thinking there's gonna be some other Pixar movies I can do to watch for the first time in review. So I'm gonna see what's still out there that I haven't seen yet. Like Frozen, I haven't seen Frozen yet. Is that Pixar or Disney though, or both? Whatever. Like I haven't seen Frozen. That's another one I probably should get to at some point here. But thanks very much for watching. I hope it was a lot of fun, just as much fun for you as it was for me. Enjoy your day, and life is a highway.